Well, it's another season, and I'm still here. Yep, Fiorentina is still the location, and there are a couple of trophies out to win this year, most notably the Europa League and the Italian Cup, as well as maybe trying to get back towards retaining the league. Retaining? Can't retain it if we didn't win it last year. Well done, Mike. Good start. As always, there have been multiple changes, lots of transfers. It's time to get excited. Welcome to the new era. And I'd best kick off the new era by saying that we have sold Demian Aim to Liverpool. How much, you ask? £75 million. £75 million. Considering I bought him in for 17.25, and you look at what he actually provides for the team, it's an absolute steal. I've literally mugged Liverpool off something chronic. He could obviously get better, and he has got a lot of potential, but at the same time, I feel I've completely mugged them off here. £75 million I got for him, and it has helped me build in a lot of the squad, because I didn't have a big budget. We only had £22 million in the bank, but with that additional £75 million, I feel I've made a lot of decent signings. But it is also worth noting that I've let go of a few players as well, including Stranja Pavlovic. Could be a bit of a mistake, potentially, but at the same time, he didn't particularly play that well for me. He has gone to Sporting Lisbon for £22 million. I think that's the most disappointing thing, is that I bought him for £12 million, which is pretty good. Made a £10 million profit, but he could have been a bit better. I think it's safe to say I could have done better, but my love affair with Sporting continues. Other players to go are Esteban, Santos Mingo, Karsdorp, Besnik, Docker, and then a couple of other players have gone out on loan. But let's focus on the ins. I'll start with the free transfer of Mario Vuskovic, a player that we all know very, very well. To bring him in on a free, a player that I've tried, trusted, and played pretty well for me in the seasons that we have had him, I think that was a bit of a no-brainer. He was a pre-contract agreement, so we already knew he was coming in. In terms of loan players, I brought in Johnny Ballerin, who looks like he could be potentially quite good as a right winger and as a centre forward, especially just because of the sheer amount of pace. He's not going to do too much. He's just going to be there kind of as a Europa League player, I think it's safe to say. But one loan signing I am very happy with is that of Marco Cana, or Sana, I think it's Cana. He looks very, very good. Got him in on loan from Tottenham, paying all of his wages, 110k a week, so he's quite a lot in terms of that, but no money. So I'm pretty content with him. Mentally, he's excellent. Physically, he's also excellent. And midfield-wide, excellent. Registered as an elite, or described rather, as an elite midfielder. He certainly is that, and he can play also at centre-back, which is one of the reasons why I felt it was important to bring him in, to give a bit of cover for the fact that Pavlovic isn't here anymore. And now we move on to some of the signings that are here, but aren't here, if that makes any sense. Some signings that I made that are not going to be here this season because I've bought them in, but they're non-European EU players. Number one, Mario Laralda. I mean, just look at the physicals on the centre-back. That's all I need to tell you. He's a very kind of like classy centre-back, a very kind of like step out of play, win the ball back, get the ball moving upfield, but looks potentially absolutely world-class at 21 years old, and I signed him for a modest £5.5 million. He is back on loan at San Lorenzo, back in Italy. I was going to say back in Argentina. This man, however, is the future. And I'm so annoyed I can't play him. But look at Rodolfo Pavon. He's away on loan at Ajax at the moment because I can't register him because he's a non-EU player. But my God, just look at him. Just look at him. He's absolutely unbelievable. And I only bought him for £5 million. I got this for £5 million. Absolutely unbelievable. And I can see me staying a couple more years here at Fiorentina. There's a lot of stuff that I want to achieve here and want to win. Most notably, it's going to be the Europa League this year. He could not help me do it this year, but maybe next. I couldn't resist it. You know I can't resist a freebie. I bought Paul Pogba. 33 years old. Still got it. Mentally brilliant. Technically brilliant. Physically still pretty decent. Got great traits. Ambitious. Has won a lot. He's played quite well. Not in the league. In the league, he's been terrible. He got himself sent off. But in the Europa League, already playing an 8.1. So let's focus on that. His sort of experience is what I'm hoping is going to get me that next step towards winning cup trophies. If he can turn up, he's a big player, turns up in the big moments. I think he could be, even for a year, a decent little acquisition. And I bet you were wondering, where's the big money been spent then, Mike? Where's the £75 million been spent? Florentino Luis is one player that I spent it on. 27 years old, got him in for a modest £32 million, okay? Sounds like a lot. I did a bit of a deal, really. We traded Demi Name for 75 million, and I got Florentino Luis for 32, which I think is absolutely brilliant business. He is hopefully going to be the player that shores up this midfield, that sits back, helps the centre-backs, and makes us a lot more defensively solid. It hasn't quite gone like that to plan so far, and I'll get onto that in a minute. But, I mean, he's got everything you could ever want as a midfielder. He's absolutely fantastic. And still, at 27 years old, just about entering his prime, brilliant signing. And speaking of brilliant signings, he is well known for being a very good player on FM. That is Ozan Kabak. I haven't bought him because he was Liverpool. It's not. I would have bought him anyway because he's just well known for being very good on FM. But Kabak is in now for £39 million. I bought him in from AS Monaco. You can tell always played at a 7 or over a 7 in his career, apart from the early days at Schalke. He is an exceptional footballer on this game. You just have to look at the attributes. There's 15s where there need to be. There's more than 15s where there needs to be. Physically, he's absolutely just perfect. He's just brilliant. He's quick, he's strong, he's relatively tall, he reads the game quite well. Maybe could be a bit more aggressive. That's the one thing I think he's lacking, is being not quite aggressive enough. But overall, I think he could be brilliant, and he has made a decent start to his career. Apart from the 4-2 thumping against Lazio, which is how we started the season. I went with the diamond. We're not playing that anymore, funnily enough. There's been a few players that have been dropped because I'm not happy with the way that they've been playing. It was not a good day at the office. Not a good day. It was actually 4-0. Then they kind of took their foot off the gas and we scored 2 last-minute consolations to make it look better than it was. But I was not happy. We did bounce back, though, with a 1-0 win against Genoa. And then we just beat Qarabag in our Europa League group by 7-0. So the testosterone filler has been done. You can tell here we're in a group of Anderlecht, St. Gallen and Qarabag. I don't know how much attention I'm going to pay to the group stages of the Europa League. I hope you don't mind me if I don't pay that much attention to it. I'll probably play Anderlecht because I think they could be quite fun to watch. But other than that, not too bothered by it. Today's game is going to be us versus Milan. And like I said, we've not made the best of starts. We won our home game, lost our away game. Seems very familiar, doesn't it? But we're away to Milan today. We've made a pretty decent start. They are unbeaten in the league. Got a draw and a win so far. We can win this. I feel like maybe we are back in the game a little bit. At the end of the day, the whole plan this time around this year is to just make sure that we get in the Champions League places for next year, and I need to win a cup. So I either go off and I win the Europa League, or I go and win the Italian Cup. Preferably both would be the way I'm playing it, and you can tell that I have changed formation. We are now playing the 4-3-3 with the holding midfielder. Okay, so De Shegli is still in goal. I've got Balde, Basir, Ozan Kabak and Ranch as the back four. Luis is playing as an anchorman in that midfield, and you've got McKendy and Cuisance in the middle because Pogba is suspended because obviously he got himself sent off. So Cuisance is going to step in for a bit. Kluivert's been playing really well. He's out on the left. You'd think it'd be Trincao on the right, but he's played really, really poorly. He played poorly towards the end of last year. He's played poorly at the start of this year. So a player I bought in a while ago, Kiradine Hadjar, we'll call him Hadj, he is now coming in, and you can tell why I like him. He's got pace, and more pace. So we're going to try and hit teams a lot on the breakaway from home. Chamiti is obviously up front. Even though he's not made the best of starts of the season, Juranovic made a decent start, but he is currently injured. Lamazza, though, also playing very well. You can tell they're playing at 7.26. So he is a man who's also in pretty decent form. I'm feeling relatively okay now about this 4-3-3 formation. If I need to change it up, we can do. I've got in a lot of kind of sort of other players that have now come in. So now Emil Smith-Rowe is actually now involved in the squad. He's on the bench, so I've got a lot more kind of frontline options. I feel that the squad is better this year because that £75 million from AIM. I've kind of got rid of some of the chaff and brought in some of the stuff that I think could actually be quite good in getting us up and back into where we were a couple of seasons ago. The diamond formation's kind of run its course for the time being. I'm trying to figure out a formation that's going to allow me to play the two up front. I'm thinking maybe a 3-5-2 with 2 DMs and then have 2 kind of wingers out there, but I don't really trust that I have the wing players to be able to do that. I think you could possibly play Balde on the left, but then that means I'd have to leave Kluivert out. And on the right hand side, not really sure how that's going to work, but I'm working on it in the background. And it has been thrilling I think it's safe to say. Half an hour in, there's not been one highlight. Here we go, here's one. Don't let this be another bollocks one like it was last year, please. Basia on the ball. Kind of lucky to have kept his place, really, so far. It was a toss-up between selling him and Pavlovic, but Pavlovic had a little bit more in the way for him, and Basia's got credit in the bank for me because he helped me win the league. That's Justin Kluivert. It's showing me why I should be playing wingers. I don't want to hear a word about it in the comment section. Maybe you were right. But I love this from Kluivert. This is what he has the ability to do that no one else does. He just drives at players here, goes inside, and slaps a lovely one into the far corner. Great curling finish. 1-0 up. Away from home. Got to sort out these away defeats. Chakanoglu over the ball. I was looking at potentially getting him it. Roberto Firmino's tapped it in from 2 yards out. From their first shot on target by any chance? Is it? Is it really? I'm just not allowed nice things. I mean, it's decent by Ron McNally. De Sciglio makes a very good save, to be fair. And then just no one really reacts quick enough. If we can just get another one before half time, I'll be really, really happy. Ranch throws into Cuisance. Back to Ranch. He tigs one over the top to Hajar. I mean, you've only got the entire net to pick from, mate. 1-1 at the break. I mean, I would take it because obviously they're a very good team and we didn't do well against them last year in any respect. But I am a little bit disappointed that we threw away a lead that quickly. Like, I won't lie, that's irritated me a little bit. And Benaka, a great tackle there by Cuisance. Come on, I need a big year from you this year. Kabak hits it long. Great ball by Kabak. Out to Kluivert. Lovely take. Oh, he's gone inside you now, mate. Now you're in trouble. Kluivert hit... If you're going to hit it, just bend it outside the post. Don't do that. We've had more highlights, more chances, and yet we haven't scored yet. Come on, Cuisance whips it in back post. What? I heard about Yusuf Trimiti. He's been really quiet so far at the start of this season, but that is a sensational finish from our main marksman. What a header, sir. Look at this from Cuisance, and it's a back post. What? I mean, the neck muscles to get that in there. God knows what he's been doing in his spare time. That's unbelievable. What a header. Right, I know Hajar's got pace to burn, but I'm going to bring on Trincao for a bit and see how he gets on in that inverted winger position. It is actually his preferred position, so theoretically he should do better there as Trimiti's in here. Trimiti darts inside. How has he missed that? McKendy's tired. He's going to have to come off. And I'm going to bring on... Pulu because he's been playing quite well recently as well. Fresh off his first goal for the club against Karabag. So he's in a decent bit of touch, is Pulu. He's been playing quite well. And Kluivert is also knackered. So Kluivert's going to come off as the last change. I'm going to bring on Emil Smith-Rowe, a player we have not seen the whole way through the series. I bought him in kind of as a freebie signing, but no one's interested in having him. Maybe if I can get him to actually play some decent football and some decent stuff, then he's picked up an injury straight away. Thought we were in there. Thought we were going to get Yusuf in around the back. Kessie back to Benaka. Come on, let's just win this ball back. I don't like where this is going. I know what's happening here. Balde's missed it. Oh, great tackle. No, of course Pulu loses it. Don't you dare. Mane. I mean, it's that Sadio. It is literally just Liverpool Central. What a save by De Sciglio. What a terrible finish by them. Is it Sadio Mane? Is that Sadio? No, it's Mane, who actually looks very good. So I'm going to keep an eye on him. I mean, it's been a pretty even game when you look at it here. Not in terms of highlights. I'd like to point out in terms of highlights, it's been all us. But in terms of the result, it's a big, big win for Fiorentina. That is what I wanted. And I think the 4-3-3, we did quite well there. I mean, they cut us open only... one was a set piece, a little bit of a rebound from a set piece. The other one was just a bit of poor finishing from them. But that was the only time they cut us apart. Other than that, we were really, really good in that game. And I really appreciated that formation. So, I'm feeling good. I'm going to give the guys a break because we've got a big game coming up against Juventus in a couple of days. But that's not the game I'm going to show you. We're going to come back for... let's come back for the home game... No, let's come back for the away game against Anderlecht and the home game against Cagliari in the... just in the league, I think. It sounds quite good. We've got a couple of nice fixtures after the Juventus one. We take on Monza, Udinese, Empoli. Like I said, then we've got Cagliari. These are the teams that I would expect us to beat. So hopefully we'll get off to a decent start in the competition via that. I mean, we're up to 5th, which is good, but it's only 3 games in. That's not a lot saying. But I think I've had a pretty decent window. It's worth noting that Christian Kwame scored a hat-trick against me, by the way. Absolute Judas. But what I want to know is, how do you think I did in the transfer window? Do you think I made some decent signings? If so, please do let me know down in the comment section. If you don't think I did, you can tell me, but it's a bit late now, isn't it? So just be supportive. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and until I see you for the next episode where we'll be playing a bit of Europa League football, take care of yourselves everyone and stay cool.